of the real ones. Last of the real ones.
So, before we actually start the video, let me just pause here for a second and talk about our tour guide of this entire day. Our tour guide was called Captain D, and this guy, his English was great, and during the day I talked with him quite a bit, because for some reason we were with fucking Spanish people and French people and none of them knew any English word. It was just me, so he basically wanted to talk to me because I was the only one that could understand him. And this guy was genuinely one of the most amazing people in the world. He basically just did his thing. He did the tour. I don't know if he genuinely liked me or if he just wanted a tip, but he was basically talking to me about the Cayman Islands, about how he grew up there, about, for example, about the landscape, about the history, etc. He seemed to have a huge passion for his country, and this dude was one of the most genuine dudes in the entire world. So if you happen to go on this Caribbean cruise and you happen to go to the Cayman Islands, and if you meet Captain D, then definitely give him a tip because he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met.
Last on the low here, see a lot of gassing up, trying to blow here. Baby, have no fear, we gon' be the ones still around when the smoke clear. You looking at some real ones. Girl, you gotta be sick of the front game. Small town kid that ain't never had the run game. Everyone the man next year. Girl, you looking at the best. We already blessed here. Last of the real ones. Last of the real ones.
All that I need is the squad.
All of my brothers are with me and with it. All of my brothers, they play their position. My brothers, they all see the vision. This ain't no fairy tale, baby, we live it. Baby, we different, don't you be afraid of it. For that shit. Last of the real ones.
Act like you know about the squad.
Last of the real ones.
All that I need is the squad.
Last of the real ones. To the real ones. Man, we had Dior since way back. Lucky you, girl, found a needle in a haystack. They be trying to pull out all the stops for it. I'm at the hotel with the boys top floor and always got at least one with me. Stay down in the lobby if you're not for it. Talk to them boys acting like they're really doing something. Man, I call that shit a hobby if you ain't working around the clock for it. About the money, no. It ain't really about the money, no. It's about running shit and having fun with it, but not yelling at you run it though. Do the talking on the field, better talk about the boys if you're talking about the real. I know them lame dudes, they are not what they appear. You looking at a dying breed, tell me how I feel, girl. Tell me how I feel. Them cookie cutter boys probably losing their appeal. You looking like you'd rather be with me over the field. Said you got a couple friends and you got yourself a deal, girl. Got yourself a deal. The mother boys, they be trying to reinvent the wheel. I've been living life, doing everything I feel. Baby, I ain't being arrogant, I'm just being real, girl. You looking at it. Last of the real ones.
Act like you know about the squad.
Last of the real ones.
All that I need is the squad.
Last of the real ones.
All that I need is the squad.
Last of the real ones.
So let's pause the video right here. So the reason this landscape looks really weird with all these random ass rocks is simply because where we were standing right now, this is actually in the town called Hell. This used to be the coast. And there used to be a beach here, I think that's what our tour guide said. And it kind of looks like some meteorites fell from the sky. And I just thought it looked really weird, ugly, and amazing at the same time. And that's basically why I wanted to film this. You're probably thinking like, what the fuck is this random ass shot? But that's the backstory behind it.
Everybody know what time it is. I'm going in like open doors. Hit another gear and then it's spilling out like open drawers. Doper than a fiend, cleaner than soap. And every time I flow, it's a new wave. I'm hoping you can float.
Okay, so this is the part where we actually went swimming with the stingrays. I shouldn't have to explain myself when I say I couldn't film in the goddamn sea. But this was one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life. Just sitting there in the shallow water. And these stingrays, they for some reason like people. They just came up to us. They touched me, which was really weird. I've never been touched by a stingray, and they're so slippery. It's, ooh, it kind of gave me the chills, man. But that was so cool. They're beautiful animals. They're big as hell, and they were just kind of touching my leg, touching my arm, etc. They were just swimming by, and they're actually amazing animals. And remember when I said in my Jamaica video that I couldn't handle those dolphins being locked up for life, basically. This is how it should be. During this excursion, we basically went, I think it was like 2 or 3 kilometers into the sea, and we just went to shallow waters. And they just came up to us on their own terms. Like, they weren't captured. They weren't captured or anything. They just came up to us because they wanted to come up to us. This is how excursions should be. These animals can leave whenever they want to leave. They can just go hang out with their friends or something whenever they want. And that is exactly how it should be. Don't capture these animals. If they really like people, they come to you. Then one more thing that happened. At some point, our guide gave us small fish to basically feed these stingrays. And of course I wanted that. I really wanted that shit. And I fed one of them. And it was really weird because he kind of grinded his body against my stomach, and that just felt really strange. Anyway, a couple minutes later, when I had already given them food, they wanted more. But that wasn't my intention. I saw one of these stingrays swimming up to me. I'm gonna try to kind of touch him in such a way that it kind of feels like I'm holding him. So I did that. I reached out with both of my hands, and this motherfucker thought my fingers were food. So I reached out with my hand, and this guy came up to me. He bit in my 2 fingers, realized it wasn't fucking food, and then he left. I had never expected to have a stingray wanting to eat my fingers. It didn't hurt. Okay, I have to admit, they can bite. It hurt for like a couple minutes, but my fingers aren't gone or anything. He quickly realized, oh shit, this isn't food, and he left in embarrassment, I guess. But this motherfucker, at some point you have to accept that you've had enough food, man. Come on. Other than that, it was an amazing experience. Swimming with stingrays is definitely the #1 highlight of this entire trip. 100%. The most amazing thing I've ever done.
I'm a tsunami, a super soaker. I poker by my circle like a euchre deck. I take the jokers out and nothing lower than a 9. Cause a 9 make you appreciate a dime. I'll be sipping ace of spades when I'm in my prime. The come up, I ain't even banking. But I be hot as hell in rhymes Aretha like Franklin. What up? Hear a lot of anonymous hating. Shut up, your dream girl waiting to pick the young blood up. Said Al, bet Bet you mess with us now. Bet you in love with the flow. Bet you be digging the style. I be going 2 miles an hour so everybody sees me. Really it's 100, but I make it look easy. Said you want that super floss, I'ma skip the chorus. Badass retarded, about to be a short bus. Bops at the bar, tell that chick Missy me. That's her 5th man of the night, call him Vicky V.
So before I end this video, I just want to say, when we got back to the boat, it was a white casual / 70s evening. So when we got to the restaurant, everyone was wearing white. Guess what the color of my t-shirt was? It was black as fuck. So did I look like an idiot again for the 2nd time? Hell yeah. I fucking hate dress codes. Thanks for watching.
PTP, I'm primetime pack with a PYT tipping white wine back. Green room chilling with the green scheme. Earned our stripes and now they calling us the dream team. Back to the basics, visionary like Lasix. Ill since age 6, rocking LA gear. That's how I light up, pull the car right up. Make sure there's plenty of the drink in my cup. Tell me who the best is, tell me what rest is. Then tell me why you ain't talking about no spec kid.